Hey guys, we just got done checking out Disney's Jungle Cruise.
That's right, everybody. Is this cruise a trip worth taking? Stick around, because we're about to find out.
All right, we got Disney's Jungle Cruise. It stars Emily Blunt and Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Who else is in this? Paul Giamatti.
We got Paul Giamatti.
And that's about it.
Nah, man. No.
There's some people I've seen, but I don't know who they are.
Yeah, we got Homeboy. We got Homeboy that played the main conquistador in this, and I've seen him in a lot of other stuff. I just can't think of his name.
He hasn't been in nothing.
Ramirez, man. Something Ramirez.
Yeah, I
dude.
just saw what he's been in. He hadn't been in
Yeah,
a
what
whole
was
lot
he in?
that's
What was he in?
recognizable.
What was he in?
I didn't even recognize him.
No, man,
who is this guy?
I've seen him in stuff, man. I've seen his guy in stuff. I can't tell you off the top of my head what it was in, but he was in some stuff. All right? But he did good in this movie anyway.
He did he? Nah.
You didn't think so?
No.
No, man, they did all right.
I thought that's where the movie falls off, but we'll get into that.
Well, yeah, there's a reason it falls off for that, right? All right, so first of all, this movie, to me, was like a knockoff of Pirates of the Caribbean, right? It's like
The Mummy meets Pirates of the Caribbean.
Absolutely. Like Disney said, hey, we made a crap ton of money off one ride that we turned into a movie. Let's try it again, but with the exact same storyline almost. So it was kind of like...
I was actually really digging this movie until the supernatural stuff came in.
Right, because...
And then I'm like, it felt a lot like Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah, no,
we just took different characters and threw them into Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah, exactly. And gave them, similar crap. Oh, you got these freaking Walking Dead guys.
They're cursed.
They're cursed. They're the Walking Dead.
Whether it's money, petals, who cares?
It's all the same thing, right? Instead of getting your little coins in this one, you got to find the magic petals to break the curse. And, it worked in Pirates of the Caribbean because it was a new thing, right? It was like, hey, it's the first time we're doing this. It was cool in that movie, and they made it fun. There was a lot of funny moments, and especially the diversity between Jack Sparrow and then his nemesis, and it worked well. And
he had a good villain. These villains weren't as good as Barbossa or any of those.
No, they weren't
guys.
anywhere near as good as Barbossa. Now, I thought, like I said, though, the main conquistador, I thought his acting was fine, but they didn't give him a lot.
CG, it looked.
Yeah, the CG wasn't that good.
Super fake CG with the snakes and everything.
Yeah, and they didn't give him a lot to work with, as far as that role. They really didn't. Like, I mean, his acting was fine for what they gave him to work with, but it wasn't a lot. It wasn't a horrible movie.
No.
It wasn't a horrible movie. I mean, it was
kind of like a Fast and Furious movie. Turn your brain off. There's some good
right,
gags.
Right, exactly.
The Rock is entertaining. Emily Blunt is entertaining.
Yeah, I mean, even the guy, and as far what Josh was saying, the Mummy vibe, in the Mummy, of course, you had, the main character.
Brendan Fraser, yeah.
Brendan Fraser wasn't, I'm talking about the female character in it.
Okay.
And then you had her brother, right? So it was the little brother-sister combo in that one. They threw that in here with this. You got Emily Blunt and then this other guy that plays her brother. I don't think I've seen him in anything before. Yeah, he plays McGregor, her brother. But very, very similar feel to the Mummy vibe feel, the brother and sister kind of combo. So they threw that in here, and then of course mix that up with like we were saying with the Pirates of the Caribbean feel, and instead of the middle of the ocean, now you're on the Amazon River, and they did have a pretty cool. What was it? Leopard, right?
Yeah, Jaguar.
Yeah, Jaguar. Yeah, I mean, I thought that was pretty cool. I mean, it's obviously CGI, but what I did like, I mean, so you could tell it's fake, but it was very cat-like, right? I mean, they definitely made it like act like a cat, act like a real jaguar. I mean, even whenever it was, they were petting it and stuff, the way it was like cuzzling up, nuzzling up to him and all that, the way a cat does.
I'm a softie for animals, so I really enjoyed the Jaguar in this movie.
Yeah, you and me both. So I think they did a good job with that, and and that definitely added something to the story because. This story could, let's be frank, it could use all it could. It needed every little, bit of addition it could take, to make it a decently watchable movie. And, and it was, because they threw so much stuff in it together and because they had a little bit of comedy, there was an okay amount of action. And really, I mean, the CGI aspect as far as the bad guys wasn't that great, but it was still pretty movie watching them go through the Amazon, right, on the river, through the jungle, all that stuff. So there's a lot of good stuff about it as far as visual effects.
The waterfalls and the rapids look better than most movies that
use
absolutely. That kind of effect.
Yeah, the waterfalls are awesome, and the rapids are awesome. I like that. Then that's where you had your Fast and Furious, kind of thing in there, right, where they managed to make that boat like go upstream right when they're about to go off a waterfall.
Crazy rapids. I mean, I'm like, that ain't.
It would have never happened. No. But of course, it makes for a dramatic scene in the movie, right? So, I mean, like I said, overall, it was decent.
I like The Rock and his puns. He had a lot of puns in this movie that were
right.
really good.
Well, it was all the dad jokes, right? Like
Right.
they totally made Rock have like 1,000 dad jokes in this, and of course people were just like, they were like, there's one little girl's like, "Mom, please make him stop."
You know, before this, I used to work in an orange juice factory, but I got canned. Couldn't concentrate. Yeah, they put the squeeze on me too.
So I found that very entertaining.
That was
and I
funny.
liked how Emily Blunt is doing a little Mummy, Indiana Jones kind of stunts. And what's cool about that, just like in Indiana Jones, the stunts don't always go exactly as planned.
Right.
Like she's swinging for something, instead of like swinging completely through, she'll hit something and bounce off it.
Right,
and
exactly.
kind of still make it out, but accidentally almost, which is kind of cool. I like when they do that kind of stuff.
Yeah, well, and then and then the little twist they threw with the Rock in there, with the whole supernatural aspect and everything. Because I mean, I like the fact that you never saw that coming. Right when it happened, I was like, whoa, okay, like that. At least when the way they did that, like I totally didn't see that part coming. Never expected that whatsoever. So the fact that it took me completely by surprise, I was impressed with it. I was like, all right, well, that's cool.
I will say at least it makes sense. I don't know if it needed that, but it made sense. So,
Yeah. Well, then
and maybe they needed somewhat of a story like that for The Rock, because he's doing ridiculous stuff sometimes.
Yeah, no, they totally needed a story like that for him, especially after that one scene where we were like, "What the heck, man? How's he? How's that? how you recovering from that?" And then you finally understand why, and it's like, "Oh, okay, that's how you."
But it
recover
is
from
very similar to the first Pirates of the Caribbean.
Oh,
with
absolutely.
The cursed gold, Aztec gold, stuff
No,
like that, with the fight
yeah.
between Barbossa and Captain Jack at the end. It's kind of like a similar premise. So.
Oh yeah, very similar. No, they said, "Hey, this worked for Pirates of the Caribbean, so you know what? I bet it'll work for Jungle Cruise as well. So let's just do it that way."
Do you think The Rock's as charismatic as Jack Sparrow though? His character?
No, dude, no, not even close. I mean, you're hard pressed.
Well, they made like 5 Pirates movies. You're not getting 5 Jungle
You are
Cruises.
not getting.
I'm telling you that
you
right
might
now.
get another one if you're lucky. Probably not. I can't see this franchise, if it becomes a franchise, doing anywhere near as well as Pirates did. Primarily because they just copied the Pirates. Like I said, I mean, they pretty much copied Pirates of the Caribbean, threw it on the Amazon in a jungle setting, and said, "All right, cool, here we go." And there was no real originality to this. Except, like I said, except the part with the Rock where they totally took us by surprise. Like, all right, that was kind of cool. It was pretty original. But then again, they did that in Pirates too with Johnny Depp. I just thought about that. They did the same thing with him.
And The Rock is almost the same character from Jumanji here a little bit.
Very similar, yeah.
I mean, he's playing a little bit different, but it feels like
It feels very
the
similar
Jumanji
character, right?
kinda
Well, it's
setup a
because
little bit.
Jumanji's set in the jungle too, right? So yeah, it totally feels like a very similar
And you got
character.
The Rock playing
Right.
the funny kind of guy as usual. He's playing The Rock is playing The Rock. So
Right, exactly. Yeah, no, I mean, I definitely don't see them being able to make multiple movies out of this, unless they're, I don't know what they would do, what route they would take for that to happen, and for it to be successful. Because, like I said, they made it way too much like Pirates. It's definitely a pirate ripoff. And, and I don't know why Disney made it that way. They could have done so much different stuff with this.
I said, I enjoyed it when it wasn't supernatural. So
Right.
I thought if they would have kept it more grounded, they would have benefited
Right.
for that. Like
Yeah.
Indiana
Yeah.
Jones, like the first couple, like
Exactly.
it's pretty grounded. It's not too much. There are some supernatural aspects, but they're pretty minimalized.
Right, exactly. Nothing compared to like it is with this, where they just copied Pirates and said, all right, let's run with that. They should have never thrown that in there. I mean, they could have had like Indiana Jones type like booby traps and stuff set up like that, or something.
Or I would have been okay if the curse would have, that stuff would have came into play at the very end of the movie, like the climax of the movie. I thought
Right.
that would have been a better place for that kind of stuff instead of sprinkled in like from
throughout-
halfway through.
Right, yeah, no, yeah, and I agree. But
Because I thought it was better when just like the Nazis were chasing her than the supernatural people.
And I thought the same thing too. Yeah, absolutely. And I like the guy that plays the main villain, the Nazi prince. I thought he did a good job playing that character. I
didn't mind him.
And typically when you see him, and I can't think of his name right now, but when you see him, he's typically like kind of a second-rate character in most of the movies and stuff he's been in. But this one, they gave him a pretty good role in this.
He
and
plays
I thought
like
did
an
well with it.
awkward, weird guy, but he pulls it
Yeah,
off.
yeah, and the thing is, other movies and stuff I've seen him in, he plays a weird dude too. So now he's just look at him, he just he just fits that role well. Just like this weird looking dude, awkward roles, but he does a good job with it. And he definitely does a good job with it in this movie. Right? I thought he did a great job, playing the villain in this, and it was pretty cool, the way they portrayed him in it.
Thought you might want a lift. Hey,
I don't take lifts from strangers.
cup of tea?
And then some of the funny stuff where he's trying to pronounce crap, and the guy's like, "What?" He's like, "Jungle." He's like, "What?" So they did a really good job with it as far as his accent and everything.
I beg your pardon?
This jungle
Yeah, sorry.
The jungle.
Try it slower.
The jungle.
Could you pop it in a sentence?
The trees, the bugs, the jungle.
The jungle.
Yes, that is what I said.
Right.
So yeah, so that was cool. Yeah, and had they just stuck with that route, like you said, and not thrown so much of the supernatural crap, probably would have actually been a better movie. You know, and it wouldn't have been a pirate ripoff the way it was. And you know, and they probably could have done some more stuff with it in the future. Better, I think. You know.
Yeah, it's kind of, even if this movie is successful, it'd be kind of hard to wonder where they'd take it.
Yeah.
I guess they could always search for some made up relic. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. They could almost put this kind of like Indiana Jones franchise, right, with like her and The Rock and her brother off, you know, or Mummy franchise kind of. You know, they could totally do it that way.
I mean,
I guess
they'll do
I guess
it
they
if
could
it
go
makes
that route.
money.
Right? Yeah,
So.
yeah. I guess they could go that route, right? So you know,
What'd you think about
search for
Emily
the next
Blunt
best thing.
in this?
I think she did good. You know, I liked Emily Blunt in this. I thought she did a good job. You know, I mean, Emily Blunt's a very good standout female lead character.
Yeah, I like
you
her
know,
in a lot of stuff.
she does a
Edge
great
of
job as
Tomorrow,
that.
I thought she was fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think she did a great job in this movie. I like watching her as an actress. You know, I think she brings a lot to every film she's in, and I liked her.
Yeah, I enjoyed her performance in this. I definitely didn't mind it. So
yeah,
I mean, it was missing, I think, a stronger villain. Like I didn't mind the Nazi guy, but the cursed people, I think, could have been.
Yeah, no, they could have done better with him. Yeah, but like I said, for what it was, and for the little, you know, for what they gave them, I think they did fine, and especially the lead guy. You know, I mean, they didn't give him a lot to work with, but they did give him to work with. He did all right with it.
Yeah, and I didn't really care too much about the Spanish conquistador, the sacred tree, and
Right.
all that kind of stuff going on. So
yeah, they just. I mean, yeah, I was disappointed with that. I was disappointed that they went the Pirates of the Caribbean direction with this movie. I was hoping for something a little different, and. You know, and they kind of
it's definitely
dropped the ball on it. I think.
Indiana Jones 1 through 3. That is for sure.
Oh,
It's
absolutely.
probably on the level of
they-
the Mummy for me because the Mummy ain't Indiana Jones either.
no,
so it's about equal to that.
Yeah, but what sucks is they could have made it like that, right? They
Maybe.
totally could have made it like an Indiana Jones type film, right? Had they stuck with the Nazis chasing after them, not throwing that supernatural stuff in there, you know, made some, you know, the booby traps and some more just, you know, difficulties in trying to get to the treasure and all that, they totally could have made it like an Indiana Jones film. And, you know, and they probably could have done some good spin-offs of it. And again, they still can and go in that direction, I suppose. But, you know, I wish they'd have done that. I wish they wouldn't have thrown the supernatural stuff in there and made it so much like Pirates of the Caribbean. And, but what I did love, the music was great in it. You know, they did a really great job of that, and then the fact that they did Nothing Else Matters, man. and you might, you know, it took a minute for me to pick it up. I started hearing it. You know, it's like classical, and I'm like, whoa, that's Nothing Else Matters. So it was pretty cool. They threw a little Metallica in there, you know, in like a classical vibe in this movie. I thought that was pretty cool how they threw that in there, and I enjoyed that.
How do you think this movie wrapped up? Were you satisfied with the ending?
Yeah, I mean, well, like I said, I think they wrapped it up the way they did. So they could make more and more more movies of them going out after different treasures, right? I think, you know, and if they're going to go any direction, that's really the only direction they can go with it at this point. So I was okay with it, but at the same time, for what happened, you know, her reason for being out there, you know, was I want to be able to help mankind and save the world, and this petal can cure so many disease, can cure any disease and all that, and then for her to do with it what she did, you know, it's like, did you really make the right choice there? You know? So, you know, I thought, you know, as hell bent as she was on getting out there for that reason, you know, and then for her to just change her mind like that, you know, because of one person, it was like, you know, come on now. But hey, you know,
Yeah, I mean, I don't think the ending was great or bad. I think it was just pretty typical for a movie like this to
Right.
end. So,
Yeah.
I don't really have strong feelings one way or another. It just feels like it ended as it should, kind of.
Yeah,
What
well,
you think is going to happen.
Right, and like I said, and you know, exactly. And the reason they did that is so they could potentially make more spinoffs, I think, you know. But yeah, man, it is what it is. It was okay. So I mean, what are you gonna rate this thing?
Yeah, I'd probably say this is an average movie. It's a 7 for me. It's worth seeing, especially if you can get it for a decent price. Like if you have a big family, we watched on Disney Premiere, so you know, that beats paying multiple tickets at the theater if you're doing it that way. So, but
Yeah.
I would probably suggest you just wait for it to become available on Disney Plus personally. But
Yeah, no, I would agree. I mean, I would rate it as 7 as well. Definitely wouldn't go to. I don't think I'd go to theaters.
I
To
mean,
see
if you're
it.
itching for an action adventure movie, then by all means. But
Right.
otherwise, I would wait.
Yeah, I don't think I would go to theaters to see it, especially if you got Disney Plus. Then just pay the $30 with your family and watch it that way. You know, like Josh was saying. I mean, that's probably the best way to do it. I mean, is it worthy to go spend a ton of money to go see it in the theater? No, it's definitely not. But, you know, like I said,
there's not many movies, honestly.
They're that way. They're nowadays, right? Exactly. But yeah, but I mean, yeah, but it's worth a 7, I think. And I think it is a good family movie because it is a good family movie where you can just sit back and kind of veg out and you don't got to really think a lot about it. And you can just kind of enjoy the ride and just watch the visual effects and, you know, listen to the good music in it that's playing and just kind of enjoy yourself without having to really, I mean, the story was okay, but, you know.
It's a decent adventure movie. Like I said, Emily Blunt and The Rock are good, and it is funny. So
yeah, there's some good funny stuff in it. You know, and of course, like we said, you know, The Rock's dad jokes. So.
That story just needed to be tightened up a little bit. And,
yeah, there was,
and it would have been a much better movie.
Yeah, there was so much Disney could have done here to make it a better movie. And like I said, I was upset that they went the Pirates of the Caribbean route with it. Had they not done that and done some other stuff, I think this movie could have been an 8 or a 9, man. Had they actually taken it a better route, I think. You know,
I do think Pirates of the Caribbean inspired this, and I hear that Tom Hanks and Tim Allen were originally slotted to be in this movie.
Really? So I wonder why they backed out.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think it just went through such a long production and things changed, and they backed out. But it obviously would have been a much different movie if they had those two guys.
Oh, yeah, totally would have been.
I don't know if that would have been for the better or for the worse, but...
Right, I'm guessing Tim Allen would have played the villain and Tom Hanks would have played the...
I mean, I didn't get that far into it, but... I mean, Tom Hanks is great in everything, so...
Oh, yeah, dude, yeah. And, you know, and Tim Allen's a good actor, too. You know, I like him, so... All right, man. Well, hey, everybody. We hope you enjoyed this review. Like we said, you know, the movie was pretty decent. Go ahead and check it out. And if you have seen it, please comment. Tell us what you thought about it. We'd love to hear from you. If you like our channel, hit like and subscribe, man. We'll check you in the next review.
See you guys.
Jokes. Unforgettable joke. Nothing else matters. Just throwing in the Metallica little hit it. What's that called?
Jesus.
What's that word I'm looking for? Metallica.
What? What are you thinking?
That was what I'm trying to think of, man.
What word are you thinking?
I don't know. Or is it all about the pedal and nothing else matters?
I don't know. Camera's rolling. Getting hot.
Yeah, I know, man. I'm sure all you guys are wanting to know, is this what blissy pissy? Yes, it is.
Nasty.
It's so nasty, isn't it?
Jesus Christ. I might need to turn the fan on.
Yeah, you might, man. Look what up.
Jeez, yes.
I just shoot coke out my nose, man.
Check this out.
Oh, yeah, let me see it, man. Nice.
It's like I was reborn.
Stick around, because we're about to find out. Over you do that.
Yeah, we will. Sure will. One day we'll get to the movie. You ready?
That's right. Yeah, we did, everybody. That sucked. Yeah, we did, Josh. The question is this one of those movies where it leaves you feeling like it was good, or... All right, I got it.
You got it. You got it. I mean, you messed up 10 times, but you got it.
We got it this time.